Hi there, I'm Zoot Java. Today I'd like to talk about the virus, but not the usual stuff you tend to hear about, but a little bit of what has me concerned for a while now. And that would be exactly how we're going to pay for it. Or should I say, pay for not just the virus itself, but the mess that our government has gotten us into as a result. At the moment in Canada, there isn't any mention of raising taxes. When the country is in a pandemic-induced, I would prefer to refer to it myself, though, as government-induced recession. That would be because if infection rates rise and the government force new lockdowns, the governments and central banks are attempting to get through this with the federal government running up the highest deficits since World War II. But no concern is being shown about what will happen soon after. Eventually, we'll have less of a worry of COVID-19 and the ugly face of dealing with the huge debts resulting of how it was managed will be getting there. According to the Canadian Taxpayers Federation, the federal deficit is near to $400 billion, and the national debt should be $1 trillion by the end of the year. Just to put it into perspective, 1 million seconds is 12 days. 1 billion seconds is 32 years. And 1 trillion seconds is 32,000 years. Now imagine that as money. What's my take on this? Well, as I've complained about before, our government is elected to solve this problem. I personally have zero confidence in their ability to do this. The only solution that will be offered up is to increase taxes. Big surprise. As much as they don't want to do it, as it annoys a massive amount of the population, raising the taxes on the middle class will generate a lot of money, but really turn them against whoever inflicts this financial burden on them. They might go to that good old standby of the goods and services tax, with people thinking that this is possibly a more fair way of collecting taxes. They also don't like having to pay even more on the GST. The government actually loves this so-called pandemic because they can constantly run interference on the inept way that they have been bungling their handling of the usual affairs. There's a war starting over there. Oh, look, here's the virus. An entire city is underwater from a flood. Oh, look, here's the virus. Yeesh. Case in point, April saw the federal carbon tax go from $20 to $30 a ton on industrial greenhouse emissions. It's on schedule to continue up to $50 a ton by 2022. Increasingly expensive to drive your car or heat your houses. It's supposed to stop at $50 a ton, but it's almost a guarantee that if people are delusional enough to keep the liberals in power at that point, they will jam that amount higher, because that's how they go. They'll use their precious little Greta Thunberg screeching climate change to probably double the amount of that tax in an attempt to make it look that they're making an honest attempt at getting rid of the debt. But this is a farce that people get sucked into. Trudeau will no doubt suck up to China, as he has had a love affair with them since before he first got elected and even stated it. He loves that they are a dictatorship. That statement alone should have been a tip-off to all the voters out there. But we will go back to getting huge amounts of products, not only sold here. Remember when we ran out of a lot of preventative medical gear when this virus initially hit, because they wouldn't give us what belonged to us? But also huge manufacturing deals will no doubt be resumed and more deals made. So we won't have any pollution here, but over in China, where the regulations are all but non-existent, not only do we lose a massive chunk of manufacturing jobs, but double the amount of pollution that will be made there to destroy the planet while we pay taxes to avoid polluting our country. We all are stuck with an enormous bill thanks to a bunch of power-hungry maniacs running the country who shut almost everything down and kept it down, even after finding out that it wasn't the mortal virus that was feared it might be. You idiots in power are going to force all of us to pay for your enforcement of shutting our societies down, which closed businesses and bankrupted countless people. Shut your mouths, open everything up, and allow people to wear masks, distance, or totally avoid the rest of society as they see fit. Let them make their own decisions on how to handle it. Now, for the part you've all been waiting for, my bad joke. Don't you love it? When you treat someone the way that they treat you, and they get mad about it? Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps me out. And don't forget to hit the bell for notifications of more of my words of wisdom. Also share my content on all your social media because I get censored by all the usual suspects. Until later, have a Java on Zoot.